Okay, let's. We're back again for season 2 of I'll Ask the Questions.
We're already on season 2,
or episode 2, I should say.
That went by fast.
Wow, where were you guys? So let's meet our panel. To my left, answering the Who question this week is Roger Motherfucker Jones.
RMFJ, thank you.
Welcome to the show, RMFJ.
Good to see you, buddy.
Nice to be here. Nice to be here.
Then we have Brad OG Champ Keepers.
Champ here.
Champ, he's got the what question this
It's
week?
good to be back. Thanks.
And then we have Kevin C. Dog Wilcox. Welcome back, Kevin.
Thank you.
For
nice to be around the table again.
C-Dog. Yep, looking forward to your answers once again. Unfortunately, Mike Big Dog Bauer couldn't make it this week.
We're demoting him to Little Dog.
Yeah.
We'll get into that. We'll get into that for a second.
Little Bear.
We're taking his shirt away.
And then, of course, we have Ricky Cool Breeze Grassy is back again.
Blowing back in.
I made
Welcome back,
Brought
everybody.
a shirt.
He's got a shirt.
I got my shirt this time.
I'm channeling my Cool Breeze this week.
Yeah, exactly. Brad took a page out of the Cool Breeze book. Apparently, he's like, "No,
I'm not wearing the shirt. I'm not doing
wearing it."
I'll get you next week.
Yeah, whatever.
Well, I went grocery shopping in this shirt right after we were done.
Did people just
Did you
ask
get recognized
tons of
immediately?
questions?
just had one, just the checkout lady. What's your expert in? I was like, you just have to find out.
You'll find out sooner or later.
Send you a link, lady.
Yeah.
So tragically, Mike can't be with us. He has passed away.
R.I.P. Mike.
R.I.P.
No longer with us. Ricky has the story, I believe, of how Mike passed.
So Mike just started a brand new job. He's a big boy now.
Oh, he's
Yes,
dead.
he just became a nurse.
He's a registered nurse
Yes.
on the
Wow.
surgical ICU.
That's impressive.
And unfortunately, he had a tragic accident while on the floor. He was giving a sponge bath to an obese patient.
Oh.
And they were rolling him from one side of the bed to the other. And they didn't have the safety railings up.
Oof.
And that patient fell all the way over on Mr. Bauer. And he suffocated right there on the floor. They couldn't help him. So he's dead now.
Man,
Damn.
tragic.
Good riddance, but R.I.P.
I mean,
We'll have a moment of silence for Mike.
yeah.
So anyways.
Yeah, anyway, now that guy's gone.
So I guess they came in when they found him. It was just a pair of legs sticking out, like when Dorothy's house fell on the Wicked Witch of the East.
Wizard of Oz.
He Wizard of Oz himself, so Mike's not with us.
Oh, bummer.
I like this bear better anyway.
Yeah, so this is our Mike stand-in, Mike Bear.
Mike Bear?
Mike Bear.
That's Mike Big Bear.
Nice to meet you, Mike Bear.
Big Bear
Bear.
Bauer.
Thanks, Mr. Bear.
All right, so that's Mike's story for the week. He's dead.
Yeah, so he died.
My story for the week, I'll start us off, is yesterday I had surgery. So
Unreal, man.
yeah, on Monday I noticed a lump in my groin, and Tuesday it really started hurting bad. And so, I told Sandra about it, and she's like, "We got to go to the ER. We have to figure this out. And it could be a hernia that's incarcerated, and we have to go now."
Just tripping you out.
And so I was like, "Okay, let's go." And I didn't think it was that. I thought it was like a inflamed lymph node or something like that, or who knows what it was. And so I'm in there, and I got sonogram. They took my blood. I got CT scanned. And when I go into the CT scan place, before I got on the table, the guy asked me, "So have you ever been diagnosed with cancer before?" And I'm like, "Cancer? I got fucking cancer?" It was like, how do we...
Wait, how do you know
Wait,
that? You
no-
hadn't even turned the machine on.
So I'm thinking, well, I don't think it's cancer, but you never know these days. It could be anything. And so the ER doc looks at the sonogram, and he looks at the CT scans. He's like, well, it's either a cyst or it's a necrotic lymph node. So I got this whole cancer thing in the back of my head, like, well, shit, what's really going on? And so he puts me on antibiotics and schedules me to go see a genitourinary surgeon. And the sonogram was clear on my testicles. And so I'm like,
thank
why
God.
do I need to go see this guy? I mean, everything's fine down there other than this thing next to my sack. And so Sandra got in touch with Dr. Sue here in St. Augustine. He's a general surgeon.
Great guy.
Great guy, nice guy. I go in, he sees me special, and comes in, looks at it. He's like, yeah, it's a sebaceous cyst. He's like, it's fine. Take a hot bath, put some Epsom salt in, try to squeeze it. That'll reduce the size. And that was painful.
I'm going to say it hurts, right?
And it hurts
Yeah.
really bad. And apparently I make sebaceous cysts. I got one on my had one on taken off here off my chin not too long.
Oh, so you're
ago.
prone. You've had these before.
So I've had
Well,
one
so
before, yeah, but I
so-
didn't know that's what it was at the time
Mhm.
until I saw Dr. Sue, who was like, no big deal, and we'll schedule surgery for you, and it just happened to be yesterday.
Well,
And,
shit.
so, yeah. What's that, Raj?
Well, I'll let you ask the questions, but if you have a sebaceous cyst on your groin and then one on your chin, is there a correlation?
Yeah, well, I'll ask questions.
Oh shit!
There is a correlation.
Those are chin nuts.
I've
exactly,
been
those
practicing
chin
yoga
nuts.
for to develop
Chin
certain
nuts.
skills, and things just go wrong sometimes.
Understood.
Oh, that's good. That's
Hey, man.
So anyway,
More
that's
power to you.
I've never had so many strangers test my testicles ever.
Oh, man.
Usually I know the
in a
people pretty
48-hour
well.
period?
Yeah, there's that time with Roger that one time. I knew that.
we said that wasn't going to be part of the show.
That's right. That's right.
You've
sorry
seen how
about that,
small our locker room is at work.
Yeah.
Right. But I'm sitting there getting a sonogram of my testicles, and she's like laying there, and she's like, "Okay, put your legs together and pull your testicles out. All right, you're gonna feel some gel." And she's over here, doing this and like typing on the thing, and I'm like, "So, how's your kids? You have kids, or where are you from? And like, how do you handle this?"
Small
That's-
talk.
dude,
How
yeah.
you're handling my.
That's
my
the
junk's
worst
out.
too, because like when you're sick and you're hurt, you have like extra small dick.
Yeah.
Like it's even worse than like pool dick.
It's already bad
It's
enough.
like, you know,
like a
it's
frightened
just like,
turtle. It's
oh god.
Turtle.
Like I swear it doesn't look like this all the time.
Was it George Costanza? I was in the pool.
That's how I felt. I was
Yeah.
like, normally I'm
I feel for you, buddy.
trying
It's
to
awful.
impress this middle-aged woman.
I'm
Yeah.
a shower, not a grower.
Yeah, that's right.
There you go.
Anyways, that's my story for the week.
Well, dang, man. Well, glad you
Yeah,
were
man.
still able to make it,
I
even having
survived.
surgery.
I am
Glad
in
you're here.
pain. I'm counting
Glad you
on you
didn't die
guys
like
for the
mine.
funny.
Wow.
So, anyways, Roger, what's your story?
I really wasn't prepared for a story.
Roger, you're an expert.
Oh, dude, you have
prepared.
so many stories.
I'm going to get away from the whole EMS medical side of the stuff.
Yeah.
This story is about how Renee and I came to St. Augustine.
Oh, that's a good one.
All right.
Living in Oklahoma for 40, all my life up until we moved here in 2014. We established, had jobs, typical go to your buddy's house, barbecue, pool, all that stuff. Had some friends that moved to St. Augustine, and we came to visit them and fell in love with it.
Where were they living?
Yeah, sorry. So they were living in Oklahoma at the time. He's a military guy. And they moved to St. Augustine.
Okay.
And so we went to visit them. Long story short, they moved back to Oklahoma and then eventually moved back to St. Augustine because they hated it. None of that matters. The whole point of the story is that Renee and I were beachfront bargain hunters. You ever seen that
Yeah.
show?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, so we sold the house, quit our jobs,
Drop everything.
came down
get
here
to the
one
beach.
weekend, bought a house, and here we are. Whole different life.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you seem to like it.
Oh, I love it here.
You got a great spot over there.
Oh, yeah, it's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
walking distance to the
yeah.
beach.
Really? How come I've never been over your house?
Come
Where's
on
that
over.
invite?
Yeah, open invite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
I see.
Say your
I did
address
the
live
drop
on
in.
air.
Yeah,
on
give her
over
over your
there.
address.
And
I
what's
did
your
the drop in at your place.
Oh,
not
it was
long
great,
ago.
yeah.
I
Come
ride
on
my
over,
bike. And I was
yeah.
like, hey, Roger.
Yeah.
How do you leave that?
Yeah, that
Oh, it's
wasn't much
nice.
of a
I lived at the
story,
beach,
fellas.
too. I mean, it'll
apologize
change
for
your
the,
life.
not being prepared for the story
Was it-
portion of
That's
the.
fine. That is a story.
Yeah.
It is a story.
We'll take it. Put it in the bank.
Yeah.
Brad, what's your story?
I don't know if I've told y'all this story or not. I recently just read it and thought it was super interesting. Do you know who Judith Love Cohen is?
Negative.
You want to ask?
I'll ask the questions and speak into the
A
mic.
Jewish person? Is that?
Who is that, Mike or Brad?
She could
Cohen.
be. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe. So she has. Let me see if I get this right. So she has her master's in electronic
Baiting.
engineering, and
Baiting.
she worked on a bunch of aerospace projects, but she was specifically on the team that brought home the Apollo 13.
Oh,
So,
cool.
Yeah, the Apollo 13, the oxygen tank exploded in space, and they had to abandon their goal to
Their
get
mission.
their mission to go to the moon. And so she was a part of that team that was like trying to figure out the problem, like to solve the problem to get them home. So she's like 9 months pregnant, like ready to go.
Ready to pop.
So she's working this problem and goes into labor. And so she like gathers up her paperwork and like continues to work
Unbelievable.
as she is in the hospital, like in between like pushing and stuff.
No way.
and she does it. She figures it out, and she calls him in. She calls in the math, and that was like a deciding moment that mid-birthing. And so crazy, right? But guess who she birthed? Jack Black.
Are you kidding me?
Wow.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah, Jack
Plot
Black's mom.
twist.
I've got
I
7
had
now.
no idea.
Isn't that nuts?
Wow.
That is no wonder he's got so much talent.
I know. Just destined for glory.
Yeah.
And that didn't make it into the movie.
It did, right?
I'll ask,
Crazy.
that sounded like a question. I'll ask a question. That didn't make it in the movie?
Yeah. Yeah, it didn't make it into the movie, right?
Man.
What movie?
What an
Oh, the
impressive-
Apollo
Last
13.
question. What movie?
The movie.
The movie. Awesome. Great story.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's cool. Kevin, what's your story?
Well, I was thinking about something that happened that really, really affected me years ago. Have any of you guys ever been a part of a storm or a hurricane or anything like that?
Mhm.
Well,
Yeah.
I was living in Mississippi when Katrina rolled through.
Oh shit.
Every single thing I had in my life, I lost.
Oh.
Everything. If you come over my house, everything you see is brand new from then.
Wow.
Furniture, vehicles, of course, things like that.
Goodness.
And that's why I was in the Navy. And it was tough because when I went, I've got pictures of it I should bring in and show y'all. But it was, you hear people talk about storms. You hear them talk about how it's, it's off the coast. It's not going to affect us. It's not going to be a part of anything that we're worried about. And then people get into the thought of, but it's just stuff.
Right.
As long as you get your kids out and the dog out, it's just stuff. And I'm like, I heard that once before, and I actually told that person that's coming from somebody that's never fucking been through it.
Right.
True.
Because I've lost things that I'll never see. A high school yearbook.
Memory.
Like, I can't get that
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
when I was in the military.
Yeah.
We get these things on cruises called cruise jackets. They're gone. I even had a book like that when I was on the Desert
Yeah.
Storm. It's gone, so
Man.
that's my story. But
That's
it's
heartbreaking.
Yeah.
it's hard to come back from, but it just shows you what you got to deal with, and you
Yeah.
turn around and come back on.
Can I ask a question?
Ask questions. Can you ask a question? Go ahead, Brad. Ask your question.
Where did you evacuate to?
Well, in the Navy, you don't have much of a
Good
choice.
question.
They take and put everybody on the boat
Okay.
and send you out.
Oh wow.
So we were able to get around the storm and go out. We ended up, the base was just devastated. The whole area was flat,
Man.
as you can imagine. And, because we're right next to Biloxi,
Mm-hmm.
and they talk about New Orleans all the time, but they don't talk about Biloxi, or they don't talk about the eastern side of it.
Yeah.
And you don't hear about that. But if you went back to my neighborhood, you'd just see houses. You wouldn't see fences. You wouldn't see trees. You just see what's left of houses.
Right.
And so we skirted around the storm and got out into the open ocean and ended up in Pensacola.
Okay.
And so they were able to bus us.
So you went around the
home.
long way around this thing.
We had to. It was
Yeah.
so big. It was inside the Gulf of Mexico because that's where Pascagoula
Yeah.
is. It was so big that it pretty much took up the whole Gulf.
Unbelievable.
It was amazing.
That was a big storm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
sure.
devastating.
Yeah, coming from Oklahoma, I've been through all those tornadoes, and I had a buddy whose house was just obliterated. It wasn't the walls are standing and you could still see the frame and part of the roof. No, it was the slab.
Yeah.
And just debris, dust.
It's nuts.
And that was for miles.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah,
just it's brutal.
They show you those aerial views of the devastation. It
Yeah.
just looks like someone takes their foot and just steps on it,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
then it's like lifted up. It's
It was funny when I rolled back into the neighborhood. You could tell that some people didn't evacuate because there were holes in their roofs that were broken from the inside out.
right.
Trying to get out.
That's where they stayed until the water. I mean, if I bring you a picture and you could see that the flood line in my home is above my head.
Jeez.
Goodness.
So it was crazy. Yeah. But
I remember the aftermath of Hurricane Andrew when that came through Homestead. My dad was in construction, and we went down there to kind of survey some damage and things like that. And it was like a war zone. It was just like you just saw foundation, and like an open air landfill of just stuff everywhere. And they would like bulldoze the trash out of the streets, and it was like snow drifts on the side. It was just,
Yeah.
that's the
I'll
only
never
way you can
forget
move
it.
around.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you can thank Matthew for a lot of the building code that we have now here in
Yeah,
Florida.
yeah.
Because of that
Exactly.
storm.
Thanks, Matthew.
And also the python, and also the python problem that's in the Everglades was due to Matthew, because like people would, there was a captive bred like reptile facility down there where this guy would breed like boas pythons for the pet trade, and that got obliterated. So all these pythons escaped, and now they're flourishing in the Everglades.
Man.
Wow.
You can go down
20,
and
30 foot.
catch pythons.
Is your
and-
python a Matthew Python?
No, my python is not a Matthew python. Funny thing though is I was
Sandra Python.
I was going to say
There
it's
it
a
is.
sebaceous
There's a-
cyst
it's
python.
a cyst python.
There's a joke in there somewhere.
Yeah. But it's funny. I had a couple boa constrictors that I got from one of those places down there. And one day I was in the dollar store and I see this book about smuggling reptiles into the country. And it turns out the guy who owned the store I got the boa constrictor from wrote this book and was talking about how he'd get around customs and how they'd smuggle them in and how he evaded capture and eventually got arrested.
Oh,
But,
shit.
yeah, so I was like, wow. Anyways.
Black market snakes, man.
Yeah. So anyways, Mike, what's your story? Oh, that's right, you're dead. Ricky, what's your story?
Well, I got to talk about what I know, and
Hey, Ricky.
I'm in a relationship, as most of you are. Okay.
Yeah.
So yesterday,
As most of you are.
well, someday.
Oh, sorry, Kevin.
Don't worry.
The bear's available.
Yeah, the bear single.
Mike Bear.
Mike Bear.
Mike
So I'm
Big
trying to
Bear.
make it with my wife yesterday.
Okay.
Right? And I spend the whole day taking everything in the house, cleaning it up, doing the laundry, cleaning the kitchen, setting the stage. Take her
Working
out to a beautiful dinner, right? We go to Anejo. It's this Mexican place up in Riverside. We like walking along the water, take her. We have a great time. Get a couple drinks in her. You know how it is. We get home and it's going down. Yeah. And I'm like crushing it. I'm fucking like, dude, I'm like Jason Bateman in American Psycho, flexing in the mirror like that. Like, yes, I'm glistening in sweat. Like I am, I'm the man, right? So we're going, and then we finish, and I'm all out of breath, and she's laying back on the bed, and I'm like, that was amazing, right? And she just looks at me and she goes, I sure do love you. And I'm like, no, what are you talking about?
It's
I
okay,
just,
fella.
dude, I just put it down.
That's one of my best performances.
Dude, like, it
That's
doesn't
top
get any
10.
better than that.
Yeah.
And she's like, I sure do love you. And it's just,
Did she see the first episode?
not yet.
Okay.
Not yet, but she will. And it's just like, do they know that they just hold our egos in this little fucking
so.
little basket?
Oh,
like, do they
100%.
understand that? That
By
they
a
could
little
just,
sack.
But yeah.
Man. Anyway,
Has their-
I didn't dismember and put her in a suitcase after that, like
she's-
Jason Bateman did, but I wanted
You did
to.
make your listen
just
to
kinda-
Huey Lewis in the news?
Yeah, put my rain jacket
Kind
on.
of cried yourself to sleep.
Oh my
but-
God, it was
You just
awful.
gotta meet my friend Rosey Palm.
Rosey
You
Palm.
meet Rosey Palm. Yeah, she's
Rosey.
a good girl. You meet Rosey Palm, you're fine.
Okay.
Sounds like a lot of experience.
Yeah.
Anyway.
He knows from
Anyway,
experience.
Justin, what's your story,
Yeah, what
by
you
the
got,
way?
bud?
I have two stories. Can I tell them?
Yeah, you got to catch
Yeah,
up.
go
Wait,
ahead.
Bryce, Briz will ask the questions.
So-
I'll ask questions. I've had surgery. Apologize for my late response. Go.
I'm gonna go off of my last story first. So, when I was probably 12, 13, I don't know, it was down in South Florida. My mom let me volunteer at a same-day surgery center or whatever. And I got to see colonoscopies and all the, ladies giving birth, whatnot, blah, blah, blah. And mostly colonoscopies. And I remember, cleaning up the bed, shit, just poop, just nasty, all over, and just gross stuff. And I was always curious, so I asked, and they were like telling the patient, you really got to get the gas out. You got to fart, you got to let it all out.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was interesting,
advice.
and fine. Well, recently, I would say probably maybe 3 years ago, I had a colonoscopy.
Congratulations.
And when I came out, I remember the nurse.
You gotta
telling
let it
me,
out.
You gotta let it out. Well, I was letting it rip. I mean, and I'm not, I'm not boasting, but I can fart.
You're pretty good, huh?
I'm a good.
That ass can fart.
I can fart.
Okay.
Fart down. Well, at a point, I remember the nurse telling me that I farted enough.
She had
and-
enough of it, huh?
She almost just was willing to get me out of there ASAP.
Yeah.
The paint was
They're
peeling
like,
off the
you-
walls at this point.
Yeah, they're like, you've you've overwhelmed your stay.
Okay.
That's
That
not
was
the
my
same.
first story.
That's your first story.
Second story. I was with my brother,
That's me.
and that is Brizzle. And we were at a McDonald's, I believe it was, and his friend was what was his
Beasley.
name, Bryce? Yes, Jeff Beasley was driving the car, and I remember him asking. Bryce, help me out with this because
It's
I'm
your
a
story,
little bit
dude.
gray on. Okay, well, I'm gonna go with it. I remember him asking for either like extra sauce.
Yeah,
or
and they were going to charge him 10 cents a cup of
they
barbecue
wanted
sauce.
to charge him. Yep, they wanted to charge him. This man lost his shit.
He was having a bad day.
He set this thing in the first gear and tore around the drive-through.
Squealing the tires.
Because of 10-cent
Yeah,
sauce.
Because of 10-cent sauce.
Yes,
Oh, man.
yes. Great stuff.
And then he
Great
ended up throwing the sauce in the window
Yes.
Oh,
and driving
Yes.
off. So
Nice.
they didn't even keep
Yes.
it. Anyways.
Man.
they deserved it.
That was
Yeah,
hilarious.
Young adolescent
That was-
rage.
I wonder
Uh-huh.
where he's at. You know where he's at? How
I
he's
have
doing?
no idea.
Still doing donuts in that parking
No
lot.
idea.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's still
that's
pissed
solid.
about the sauce.
I think he started a barbecue
Yeah.
sauce company.
Yeah, man.
Didn't he end up working for one? A McDonald's?
No, he worked for that McDonald's actually. They actually hired him.
That's right. Right.
Bad business decision
Yeah.
on that one.
Poor business decision.
That's my story.
All right, let's
Cool, man.
let's move into our question round.
Farters gonna fart, man.
Yeah.
Farts are gonna fart.
Hey.
Some saucy farts.
I got a strong ass.
Oh, by the way, last week we thought that you
Strong
had
ball.
caught a mermaid. We couldn't hear you last week.
Yeah.
What was your story last week?
Oh.
Do you remember?
So yeah. Well, no, that's what I was saying. So there was a young lady the nurse in the place that I had the colonoscopy was fine.
Okay.
I mean,
10 out of 10.
big
Rosey
old
Palm.
titties.
Rosey Palm.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, dude. Oh, yeah.
Better than Rosie.
And I remember, oh, yeah. And I just remember being like, wow, I really embarrassed myself. You know, because my wife's there. You know,
That's
she's
not
right
hard
next
to do.
me. And you ain't lying. And she's right next to me, and I'm just like letting it rip. And I hear the nurses giggling. I hear this girl giggling, and I'm thinking to myself,
Well,
you
how
know, and of
unprofessional.
course you're just coming off of anesthesia, so it's like I don't really know what I'm doing or what's going on. But yeah, it was good. Yeah.
Hey, you come here often?
I found a piece on the ground. I'm glad I found this
That could have been
because
crucial.
I've put puzzles together, and literally
I don't believe you.
had
No,
one
you've
moment.
never
that's
done-
gonna
you've
make
never
or
done
break
that.
you,
You
for
need to
sure.
prove that. Anyways,
I am.
let's get into our questions.
Nice.
Last week we couldn't ask our special guest Justin questions because we couldn't have his audio, but this week we can. We're going to go ahead and ask you the questions first, and then we'll refer to our expert who had that question for the week.
Okay.
Are you ready? You
I
ready?
am.
All right.
I know nothing.
Okay. First,
No, nothing about the
that's an
question.
understatement. Just kidding, dude. All right.
No, you're right.
Our first question is who, and the question is who would win in a fight, Cher or Madonna, assuming both are in their prime?
No brainer, dude.
What?
No brainer.
Okay.
Madonna.
All right. What's your
She
rationale?
put Cher's eye out with her cones. Those cones,
She's like
brother.
cone butter.
Yeah, she'd just come in with like Cher's head and just right in her eye.
Okay. You don't think
Solid
Cher?
answer.
With
All
the
right.
cone boob.
I'm going Cher.
Okay.
I'm for sure going Cher.
Dude, she's like very
Who's the
manly.
well,
Who's
Roger.
asked the question?
Roger is a. I'll ask the questions. Roger is our expert on the Who question this week. So, Roger, who would win in a fight, Madonna or Cher? If
I
they're
got to
in
go
their prime?
Cher.
Okay.
And this is how
Yeah.
I broke it down. If you just look at the men that Cher and Madonna have had in their lives,
Okay.
you look at Cher. She starts with Sonny Bono, who's I don't know
Beast.
5'6",
tall.
whatever.
R-
Probably
R.I.P.
Probably
Sonny.
huge schlong.
exactly. Probably just hung like a horse and
Oh,
turns
yeah.
Cher out.
I
Has to
mean-
be right. So
Shit.
I don't know the chronological order of Cher's men, but Gene Simmons,
Oh,
the kiss
Oh.
guy with the tongue.
Yeah.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Greg
He's
Allman.
She's a bit of a wild child.
She
Yeah,
can,
the
she can
Allman
probably
brothers.
take a little pain.
I was gonna
Right.
say, is the moral of
Yeah.
this story that Cher can take a
Yeah.
pounding?
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Richie Sambor.
So
I
she's
mean,
got a
these-
strong chin.
These are some
Yeah.
cool.
strong chin.
You know,
Yes.
so
No,
got, so
That's
Chin
solid
nuts.
point.
and let's look at Madonna. She's
Okay.
had
The tail of the tape.
Yeah.
Sean Penn.
She got Sean Penn, Warren Beatty, and Rosie O'Donnell. Really?
About to get
I mean,
touched for the
how did
first
that
time.
I bet
Jackie
Sean Penn
Kennedy
beat
said
that ass.
I remember Jackie Kennedy in a interview
What?
saying that Warren Beatty wasn't crap.
What
was
Talking
that?
about Jackie Kennedy.
Yeah. how
Yeah,
we
Jackie Kennedy was in a interview, or they did an interview with her. And she wrote, or I guess wrote a book, a biography, and she talked about having being with Warren Beatty after her husband was assassinated. She talked about being with Warren Beatty and how he wasn't nothing, how he was just slack,
Oh,
Well,
Good.
Oh shit! Not
just
sure
another
how he.
dude,
Again,
just another guy.
proving my point.
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
We-
Okay.
I
What?
think we're
She
going
with
with
Michael
Cher on that
Jackson.
Yeah, I
one.
think we have enough info
Yeah.
to go with Cher.
I think
Wasn't
you've sold me
Madonna
on
with
Cher.
Michael Jackson?
Nobody was with Michael
No.
Jackson.
Nobody was.
Not
Michael
re-
Jackson
not
was-
really.
No, she Dennis
Yeah.
Rodman.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
So
Defensive Player of the Year, Dennis Rodman.
Yeah.
yeah.
Uh huh.
Pure athlete.
yeah.
Yeah.
And look at the
Well,
Madonna's like the best-selling female artist of all time, and she's broken all kinds of. But I don't know Madonna. I mean, like
Have
a
you seen her-
virgin.
have
I
you
know
seen her
that,
lately?
but who knows?
Yeah, she's scary.
She's
isn't
looking
she?
rough.
Gypsies, tramps, and thieves. They hear from
Yeah.
the. Everybody remember that?
I do. Yeah.
I
they
got you,
found her
babe.
unresponsive
Oh, yeah.
recently.
I got you.
Oh. Yeah.
No, I remember
Sure.
both those.
Yeah.
I knew the
Madonna's in
chorus,
that
not
weird-
the line.
That's an
What?
age.
And I didn't know the verse. I knew the chorus.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm just saying, Cher's a badass.
Madonna looks like the Cowardly Lion from Wizard of Oz
What,
at this
now
point.
she's. I think she's in the hospital
She's got those
recently.
like big cheeks and like weird
Yeah, she
plastic
fucked herself
surgery
up.
face.
Was
Yeah.
it fillers? Yeah. They
Yeah.
just loaded up.
Almost like
the
the
king.
skeleton dude from Tim Burton. Yeah.
And I think
The
Madonna's in the
skeleton guy from
hospital.
Tim Burton.
She
Recently.
was.
Yeah,
She got
recently.
some
She's
sort
in
of
ICU or
infection.
something.
Unresponsive.
Yeah.
Had a sebaceous cyst on her
On her
chin.
brain.
Yeah, I'm sure she does.
That's what I'm going to.
It's infected.
I know nothing about Madonna.
Yeah.
All right, that brings us to our next question.
That's an expert
Oh
answer.
God.
Justin, the next question is a what question. And I asked this question to Brad earlier this week.
Oh yeah.
And the question is, what is the opposite of a duck?
Oh shit.
That's a tough one. That's a hard
I
question.
know. I
Fuck.
know. I did this.
I know
for
the
2
answer.
You
years.
think like the opposite of a dog is a cat,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, okay.
Opposite of a bird
Okay.
is like a fish.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
That's kind of, you know.
Mm-hmm.
What about
I'm
a,
gonna go
a
with-
duck?
I'm gonna go with fuck.
How many
That's
animals
not my
do you-
answer. I'm gonna go with goose.
I got it. I don't know about that one.
Kind of still a
goose.
bird.
Well, there's a duck right
That's
there.
a duck. It's Squeaky McDuck. You're
Okay,
going-
okay. The opposite of a duck is a buck.
like a deer.
This isn't a rhyme
That's-
game.
Yeah, we're not rhyming.
Sure. You could spell duck
you can
backwards.
rhyme.
You told me you told me my answer. You asked me my answer, so there it is.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
He's
there
right.
it is.
Thank you,
Yeah,
guest
that's
Justin.
true.
Thanks, Red Dog.
Thanks. Yeah.
Now we'll refer to the expert. Brad, what is the opposite of a duck?
I thought about this for a while, and I thought that it would be smart to. What is the opposite of it? Is you choose another animal. I'm not doing that.
Okay.
So
You're staying in the bird
Ooh.
family?
No, I'm gonna stay. What is a duck? What are it's
What are the qualities
it's
of a duck?
matter, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what would be the opposite of matter? Antimatter.
Okay.
So it would be an antimatter duck.
And-
So everything inversed,
Oh my gosh.
right?
Holy
so,
cow.
And then you take an antimatter duck, and you take it even further. It's the reflection of that in a mirror. You're talking about total opposite.
Whoa, like parallel universe duck.
Got it.
Are you guys hitting the bong before you come over here?
My mind is blown, dude.
Yeah. That's like a half tab acid before.
Yeah,
I
that's
This
Yeah.
is what I love about these questions is I never know how you guys are going to interpret the question, and you get bomb answers like that.
Yeah. So.
Roger's got to have a piece of chocolate after that
Oh
one.
yeah.
some brain
Or a
food.
cigarette or something.
yeah.
That is how it's,
chocolate,
that's
Roger.
how it's done.
That is how it's done.
Okay.
That was really
Roger,
good.
eat a
like
piece for
that?
me.
Yeah.
It's an anti-Snicker.
What'd you say? It's an anti-matter
Snickerdoodle.
Snicker.
It's a Milky Way.
You look a little hungry.
It's
Yeah,
an
that's the opposite of a Snicker is a Milky Way, right?
Sure.
Yeah, I'd go with that for sure.
Why not?
Yeah.
No.
Dog shit.
The opposite of a Twix is a Kit Kat.
I
Maybe
like where
Ruth.
we're going.
You see?
no,
Yeah.
Right?
Not wrong.
Baby
You
Ruth.
guys want to play an opposite game? We can
What-
do this
what-
for like 2
We
hours.
can be here
Yeah.
forever.
We really could.
What about a Reese's?
Ask questions. What about a Reese's? The opposite of a
peppermint
Reese's is an Oreo.
patty. York peppermint
okay.
patty.
Yeah.
All right, next question.
Opposite of M&M's, Skittles. right?
Skittles for sure.
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah,
Absolutely.
No brainer.
All right, Justin. Your next question is when. When did Elliot realize that E.T. was just a geriatric alien with dementia that sort of just galactically wandered off?
I like that. On the spot,
He had,
kid.
this is the hot seat. This is
Yeah.
the guest. Guest really has, I think, the toughest
It
role.
is. It's hard to think of it on the spot.
Just he has, yeah.
I'm gonna get him one of those like padded helmets you used to see the kids in like middle
he
school
can
wear
bang his head
around.
against?
Yeah, just in case.
Maybe he's already got the drool cup.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Is that your spittoon?
Sure.
I'm gonna go with never.
Okay, that's
never really.
It never occurred to
never
you that he
nope,
could be have no idea what he just kind of got in the spaceship out of muscle memory, hit a few buttons, and bam, he's in Earth,
Yeah.
Yep.
and just happens to meet
Yeah.
Elliot.
How old
Yep.
was E.T.?
I think Elliot was. I
Ask
think
questions.
E.T.
How old was
destined-
E.T.?
I think E.T. was. E.T. was at least 1 million.
A million Earth years.
A million Earth years?
No. But
Yeah.
the planet he was
Think
from.
about how long. How long did
Okay,
it take him to get here?
instantaneously, I would think. I'll ask the questions. By the
So,
way.
do you think E.T. was destined for Elliot? What's Elliot's
I'll
last
ask the
name?
questions.
That is the real question.
Anyways,
Because if it starts with a T,
like
Uh-huh.
Thomas.
All right, let's go to the
Okay,
expert.
yeah,
here.
let's find out the expert's answer. Kevin had this question this week. So Kevin,
all right.
when did Elliot realize?
I think everything in E.T. was by design from E.T.'s standpoint.
Okay.
In other words, I had to like do a synopsis on the movie. So, you know, alien comes to the planet looking for something,
Just wants to go home.
get spooked, they all run back to the ship, he gets left behind, kid finds him, you know, then he gets sick and then he's got to go get rescued by the kid.
Right.
Well, in my opinion, I think this was all by design. I think that now E.T. himself may not have known this, but I think he was purposely left behind.
Oh.
And the reason I think that is because kind of like the Independence Day thing where they're going to come and try to colonize the planet and take all the resources. They were here as what farmers or some shit like that looking for new plants or something like that. Well, how do they know that those plants are going to grow on their planet? What would be easier? Take over this planet or experiment with plants that they don't even know it's going to help? And I don't think it was an accident that E.T. and Elliot hooked up.
Oh.
Now, how do I think that? Well,
Yes.
look at Elliot and his family life, right? So, like I said, I don't think E.T. was here by accident. I think it was a plan for them to see what people were like and how to manipulate people and how they could take
So
over.
E.T. is like a guinea pig from these alien
I
people.
think he was their own experiment without even knowing it.
Is that why he had no clothes on?
Yes, and that's why he looks like a giant scrotum.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's
So,
like
'cause
he
no-
had
he
no
looked like a-
plan that there could be
I
earth
look
germs
like
that
a
could be
giant
killing to him.
Well, I
So
think
he-
that was what was ultimately making him sick, though.
Uh-huh.
But my thought is, you know, he went after Elliot because Elliot's like the middle child of 3 kids.
Yeah.
There's no father in the family. Mom is crazy. The daughter will just go along with whatever the kids are saying because she's the youngest. The oldest is a teenager living his life. So Elliot's got nobody in his life. So he picks up this giant scrotum and decides he's going to be my pet.
This is it.
This is my buddy
Yeah,
from here
that's
on
right.
in.
But I think
Pet scrotum.
absolutely, and I think the big thing was that Elliot could have been killed whenever E.T. wanted to. He could have just been a stone cold
Pulled out
killer.
his finger and bzz.
I'm thinking that's where
Like
it was
Yoda.
because I don't think any of that was not by design. I think that the whole idea was to take over the planet.
And that
Because
was
it
the
would be-
first guy to
Right.
kind of test the waters.
Right,
To see
because
how,
every experiment's got to start somewhere, and every experiment you start with something small and then go. I mean, because they
like a beta test.
could have like easily dropped him into like I don't know a battle situation and said take over this commander because we know that he was capable of doing it
done it,
because he
yeah.
was able to psychically hook up with Elliot because remember he was drinking beers and then Elliot got drunk in school.
Yeah.
And he can manipulate Elliot because Elliot was, see, I had to do a little research. Elliot was like really down for this girl, but he didn't know how to tell her. And E.T. like psychically told him just to go kiss her. And so he was reporting back to his team all of this stuff that he was going on.
Shit.
I love it.
Wow.
It's expert shit.
Dang. I thought I had a good answer.
I know. When I can't
Damn
sleep
it, Kevin,
tonight,
knocking it
I'm
out
going to
of
go
the
over
park.
that answer in my head. How does Kevin know that E.T.'s an experiment?
I like the fact he did a lot of research on this.
Yeah.
one.
I had
It's
to.
It's an incredible
this is
answer.
Expert stuff.
All right,
There's
Kevin gets my vote. Sea-Dog gets my vote this week.
There's an ET ride at Universal.
Right.
Love
I've
it.
done it.
Absolutely
It's like
love it.
it looks like it was built like in the 80s or something. It's like all rickety.
One of my favorite
and It has
rides.
that like musty smell to it when you go in there.
Oh, yeah, it's wet.
It's the most dangerous ride in the whole
It's
park
wet.
for sure. Like you feel in real danger the whole time. You're like, this thing's gonna fall.
It's like a tick above a carnival
It's
ride.
moist
Like,
in
have
there.
you done it, Kevin? Because
I
if
have
you
never
haven't,
been
I
to Universal.
recommend.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to
I
be
have.
my
Oh,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
fantastic. You get on the bike and you fly, and it goes over this really
Yeah.
trippy world. It's really a
You go
cool
into outer
ride.
space. You get to go to ET's home planet.
See, that's the thing. You don't know what his planet looked like. At
Yeah.
least I didn't. So
And they say
Yeah.
your name at the end.
They do, yeah.
Really?
They go,
Yep.
Bryce.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's awesome.
I told him
when
my
he
name
said
was-
"motherfucker Jones," I was like, "Yes."
That's me. He knows I'm an expert.
Motherfucker Jones.
RMFJ. Phone home.
Man, the first time I did that
Motherfucker.
ride, my friends had made these Rice Krispie treat edibles.
Okay.
And I was like, how strong are they? And he went, I don't know. I just like put a bunch in and cooked it. So like, be careful.
Russian roulette.
So I was like, I'll eat like half of a Rice Krispie treat.
You never got off the ride.
I went to outer space for real. Like, it was rough.
Awesome.
It was rough.
nice.
Nice. All right. Yeah. What is it, Justin?
Do you think?
I'll ask the
That-
questions.
Do you think that E.T. Do you think that Yoda is a skinny version of E.T.? Do you think?
I'll
you
ask the
up with-
questions. No, I don't
Nah,
think
dude.
yoga
No,
is.
no.
No, I think that's
Totally
a completely
different
different universe.
Justin, shut the fuck up.
I'm sorry.
How's that puzzle coming
Yeah,
along there,
I haven't
bro?
seen you make any progress on that
What did-
puzzle.
I think last week you
do you
connected
got?
4 pieces.
Okay.
Was that? Ah.
It's like he's getting all the colors.
Oh,
together.
he's he's
alright.
kind of organizing a bit.
I've got Justin's punishment flying in from Thailand.
Oh man.
See this? See this?
Okay.
This is
All
work.
right.
This is progress.
You're almost there.
Okay.
progress.
A few
is,
hundred
don't
pieces
you?
to go.
Hmm.
All right. Our next question is where. You ready for your next one?
This one's deep.
I am. Yes, I am.
Where does your soul reside?
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's deep.
That is deep.
If you had to pick a spot, where would it be?
Mm.
Where's your soul, Justin?
I know where mine is.
My soul is in my pants.
Okay.
Okay. Can you elaborate?
Like
on
in
that?
left pocket or
Yes.
left pocket?
It's in
Both
the pleats.
pockets. You want to see it?
No, I don't want to see it.
Look. Look.
Oh, you got new pants. Those are America pants.
Land of the free.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, those look soulless to me.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
soulless pants.
What do you got on there? Hot dogs and burgers? French fries?
So I believe that my soul resides in.
That's it, huh?
I don't
That's
like
all.
this.
This is
this
making
a
me uncomfortable.
Captain Morgan commercial?
I don't
Yeah.
like this at all.
Okay, you can sit.
Whose question was this? Was this Mike's or was this?
This is
mine.
Oh,
Ricky's
okay.
question. We're gonna
I'm excited.
refer.
to
That's a
hear
rough
what
question.
the expert
So we're
says.
getting
That's a tough question,
an
man. You put me on the
insight
spot, bro.
into like a guest who knows nothing about these questions, point blank, versus an expert.
Oh, it's
Well,
tough.
Well, we've
It's-
had 2
it's
weeks
hard.
to work.
You guys have
yeah.
been working. You did research.
I
Yeah, wrote up papers and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yep.
Anyways, Ricky, where does your soul reside?
So first I had to define what your soul is, and the best answer I could come up with is it is the accumulation of all of the things that makes you you. So for you it could be like music,
My sebaceous
cars,
cyst.
your sebaceous cyst, your weird
Yeah.
foreign wife,
Yeah,
you know, like all of
Yeah.
these things that really make you who you are.
yeah.
And one of the things that I was reading about was your soul versus your spirit.
Oh.
Are those two
Interesting.
things different? And
Yes.
if they are different, what's the difference? And the difference I found is the spirit is all of those same things, but in relation to a higher power, whether
Okay.
that be God or whatever it is you happen
Sure.
to believe in. To take it a step further, Darwin was actually trying to pinpoint where the soul resides, and he picked a spot. It's a point in your brain right behind your eyes.
Like your pineal gland? and
Yeah,
your-
one of your glands behind your
Okay.
eyes. But for me to answer that question, I think my soul resides within the relationships I have formed with the people in my life. That's really the best I can do with it.
I like it.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's a deep one.
I like
though.
it too.
Is-
Yeah, that's a
is
tough
deep.
one to answer.
Yeah, it's hard.
Super deep.
It's hard.
It's almost as deep as ocean.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good job.
So that's a difference between two answers right there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Expert and guest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Puzzle
Mhm.
man and expert. I like it.
Yeah.
I am an expert puzzle maker.
Mike's question
As
this
you
week
can
was a how question. So the how question was, how fast are you traveling right now?
Million.
Is there
We're
everything?
stuck on a million.
Million
He
years
loves
old.
it.
It's a million, bro.
Is a million your favorite number? Yes. A million what?
7's my favorite number.
Okay.
What a stark contrast.
I'm actually moving 1,000,000 0.
So 0.
This is how fast I'm moving.
That's how fast your brain's moving.
Yes.
That's how fast
So
your brain moves.
before Mike died, I had a chance to talk with him. And
Yeah, I'd like to hear your guys' answer. on this
And I
one
knew
since
his
Mike's
question.
dead.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
he kind of gave me a hint about where he was going. I was like, that's a great question. He's like, well, I said, I guess we're moving a couple miles an hour, and whatever. And he goes, no. He said, we're standing on the earth. The earth's moving.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay. So I figured that's where he was going to go with his answer. So I looked it up. The earth at the
Aussie
equator
traction.
spins 1,000 miles an hour. So we're at the equator. If you're standing, you're doing 1,000 miles an hour. At the poles, 1 centimeter a day.
Wow.
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 So huge. Depends on where you're at on the earth.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's all it's relative.
1
It's all
centimeter
relative.
in a 24-hour period versus 1,000 miles.
And not only that, but not only does the Earth spin at 1,000 miles an hour, but it
traveling.
also goes around the sun
Right.
Yes.
at a certain speed. So, like, if you're spinning,
what
this
is-
around the sun, at one point you're going a little faster, and now you're going a little bit slower. You see what I'm saying?
Huh.
Because the rotation of the Earth is combined with the rotation of the
Is
sun.
that why we have a leap day?
It,
Can we go against the rotation?
yes.
Bryce will ask the
I'll
questions.
see, thanks, Roger.
You're welcome.
I'll ask questions. Roger's going to take over the new job of Grand Quizler. I'm like falling asleep at the wheel here.
There are these like 3D diagrams, representations of Earth's orbit, and if you look at it in a 3D plane, we're moving in it's like this helix DNA pattern,
Yeah.
really, that everything's moving around each other. It's crazy.
Yes, because the sun also moves.
Right.
around it. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we rotated 1,000, right? So what are we actually moving through space?
Yeah, I
Do we
don't know.
not know? Is that an unknown?
I think we probably know.
Okay.
I'm
I'm
not
sure
smart-
there's.
I'm not
sure,
smart enough to
Right.
tell
I'm
you.
sure there's a math.
But we
to
Like,
it.
what is the real frame of reference? Because when you're talking about speed, you need a reference point, right?
Right.
Like if this can is just standing here and I walk past the can, the reference point's the
Put the
can.
can,
So
yeah.
where is the
Well,
reference
they
point?
reference the whole solar system off the sun,
off
right?
the sun,
Yeah.
and then the sun off the galaxy.
Right, and it's moving as well, right? Because the universe is always expanding.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
To go to
if
another
there's
Yeah.
question
how
from
could
last
you-
week.
So if there's a black hole, is that stationary and everything's moving around that?
I don't know.
Some people say there's a
I don't
black
know.
hole at the center of the universe.
Yeah.
I wish I was
knows?
smarter.
This is why I liked
Yeah.
astronomy in 9th grade, and then all of a sudden I got the math questions. And I was like,
Nah,
nah,
forget
I'm
that.
done. I thought we were watching Carl Sagan all day.
Yeah, we need to get Bill Nye in here.
Yeah.
All right.
That same day that I ate that Rice Krispie treat that was medicated, there's this Jimmy Fallon ride there, and Jimmy Fallon had this mascot that was like a big bear in a suit. So while you're waiting in line, this big bear in
Oh,
a
yeah.
suit is like fucking with everybody. And I'm so fucked up that like when it was my turn to go, I didn't go. I'm just hanging out with this bear
Yeah.
in the suit. And then like I look down and I'm like, I've been chilling for like 2 hours
With the bear.
with this bear. And then like I'm really starting to pay attention to this bear, and he's like getting pretty friendly with me. And then I'm like, I can hear him inside the suit like giggling and stuff. And I'm like, I'm getting hit on by this fucking bear right now. And I don't know how to
Get out of it.
handle it. And I'm like, I just hope he's not here so I went on the ride, and then we're exiting the queue, and the bear is like at the end gate,
He's waiting for
like,
you.
waving for everybody. And
Getting
when
ready to
I
get a
walk
hug.
by, he like grabs my chest, and I'm like, this bear
Loves me.
likes me way too much.
He's a friendly
Rate that
bear.
experience.
Is
'cause
this
I'm not a big
triggering
fan.
for you?
Of the ride or the bear?
Jimmy Fallon, the whole that
He's like, he tries way too hard.
Yeah,
He like,
just that whole ride experience. I was like,
it's it's okay. It's not.
ET's 10 times better.
ET's amazing.
I have to do this ET.
Yeah.
ride.
Sorry,
It's
yeah.
great.
Is this
Yeah,
like
he
one of
really-
those like virtual reality things?
No,
no.
It's a roller coaster.
No,
or-
no.
No,
It's
on an actual
it's
bike.
like
Like
you're
on a
flying on one of
track.
those bikes.
Oh, like 10,000 Leagues Under the Sea or Mr. Toad's Wild
Yeah,
Ride.
similar.
Yeah, something like
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
Pirates of the
But you
Caribbean.
take off
I can
on a
handle
bike
that. Sweet.
through
It's
ET's
magical.
world.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mhm.
I like the
First you
dinosaur
see-
ride too.
The dinosaur.
What's the dinosaur ride?
Is that there in
Jurassic
Universal?
Park.
I don't know. No, I don't think so.
Jurassic Park.
Yeah, fuck yeah, right.
Oh, the water
Jurassic
one.
Park.
Jurassic
Oh,
Park.
I don't know.
I don't
It's
know.
been many
Yeah,
years since
Jurassic
I've
Park.
been.
We should go.
I know.
We
I
should-
agree.
We
Should we
should
do
tell
a
our lives
podcast?
we're
Yes.
doing the podcast and
Yeah.
then just go to
Just go to
Universal.
Universal.
On site, on location at Universal.
yeah.
We'll do
Yeah.
a podcast.
You know what's weird is my wife gave me a free pass to come do this every weekend and didn't ask any questions.
Nice.
All right.
We just need to start playing poker.
We should.
Yeah.
We should do something.
As we do the
Yeah.
podcast, play
Yeah.
poker.
Sure.
Okay. I
Or
think
just
we can
it's a
do-
podcast weekend, honey. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
It's a new experimental thing.
We're just doing poker.
Yeah.
It's the 16th one in a row. Sorry, it really took off. I
We'll
don't know
hit
what
the
to
water
tell
park.
you.
Universal.
We've had like 30 views of the first episode so far.
Nice.
I don't even know 30 people, so that's pretty good.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't.
But it's not public yet, so
Well, you know.
once it goes public, man, that's another 30.
I watched it once all the way through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was fair.
Another 30.
I was a little critical of myself.
Sure. We always
Well,
are.
Yeah.
as you are. Yeah.
All right, so this
Oh,
show's going
terrible.
to a big halt right
All right,
here now.
so
let's
we're gonna
let's
bring
turn
it
it
on,
up.
bring
Let's
it
get
back.
the gears rolling.
Now we're gonna do what's your dream round.
Oh, now
Yeah.
I don't have a dream.
You have dreams, Roger.
Ah,
Sure,
man.
My dream.
Okay, go
I'll
ahead.
start us
All
off.
right, go ahead.
My dream takes place when I just moved out of the house from after high school. I moved in with my buddies in Orlando, in this dump of an apartment. And there's 2 bedrooms, 1 bath.
Is Donald Trump there?
No, Donald Trump is not there, but it gets good. Don't worry. And so it was 4 of us living in there. I was sleeping on the floor. I didn't even have a bed. I didn't care. You know, it was just like party time most of the time. And while I was trying to find a job, and those guys were going to college. And so my dream takes place there. But in there, it was like much bigger. There's much more rooms, and it was like it had a second story, and it was just a lot different. It was still run down. Like it still had the shitty fridge, the shitty stove, and all the shitty couches and beds and stuff. And we were playing hide and seek, like hide and go seek for some reason. I have no idea. And so I was it, and I'm looking for people, and I open the cabinet, and there's Shaquille O'Neal. Just sitting in this cupboard.
In a cupboard?
Yeah,
So it was like
he's
a mini
sitting there,
Shaq.
and I got him, and then Shaq was it.
Full-sized Shaquille O'Neal?
Yeah, 7'2".
So that's a big-ass
300,
cabinet then.
whatever he is.
So that was a
Like the Indian
closet.
in the cupboard.
Yeah, no, he was in like a cupboard, like as tall as this, and he's just
Like the
tucked,
Indian in the cupboard.
he's just tucked
Yeah.
in there
Yeah.
like
Pull him
that.
out and he gets
And I found
life
Shaquille
size.
O'Neal.
You just got a bunch of like stars and celebrities in your
I
dream.
don't, know,
huh?
I don't know what's wrong with me. Yeah. Anyway, that was my
Impressive.
dream.
I like it. That's cool.
funny as shit.
Justin, what's your dream?
You ready for this?
Yeah.
Oh,
this is
we're
gonna be
ready.
I'll ask the questions. Yes, I'm ready for this.
All right. So, I have this same recurring dream. It happens every night, over and over
Really?
and over.
Every night you have
Yes.
this dream.
Every night, pretty much.
Pretty much.
Yep.
Wow.
And what I do is I climb this giant like beanstalk, almost like James and the Giant Beanstalk. I climb this giant beanstalk.
Jack?
I mean, it's
It's a
You
stop.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's huge. I climb all the way up and I keep climbing through the clouds. I mean, I climb for hours. I feel like I'm climbing this thing for at least 3 or 4 hours.
Hmm.
When I get to the top, there's a diving board, and you can take the choice to jump. And if you do, you get one reward, and if you don't, you don't get anything else. I guess I always jumped.
You always go off the diving board.
I always jump off the diving board, and every time when I get to the very bottom, what I think is going to be a giant, like a kiddie pool, it ends up being a giant cooter, like a giant vagina. And I just dive straight head first into this thing. I mean, it's almost like diving into a volcano.
Okay. Is there lava?
Don't touch the lava.
Stay out of the lava.
Well, once I hit the cooter, my dream ends.
Okay.
Every time.
Every
I
time.
mean, this thing.
That is
this
dramatic.
Thing is, oh, dude. Because I'm like, oh, cool. I'm gonna land in this. I'm gonna land in this kiddie pool. It's gonna be a big old splash.
So
I might break my neck.
It's new. Every time you dream, you have no idea what's going on, and then when you wake up, you're like, oh yeah, I had that dream last night.
Yep.
You're not like you don't know what to expect as you're climbing the beanstalk in your dream.
No.
Okay.
I don't actually remember the dream when I enter into the dream again. So
Okay.
I'm like, all right, I'm going to climb this beanstalk again. And I get to the top. And I'm like, I'm going to jump off this swimming pool. Or this diving board into the swimming pool.
Okay.
And
That's
it's
your
a
dream.
giant cooter.
That's bizarre.
I
All right,
mean,
that's
like
weird.
the biggest cooter you ever seen.
Okay.
It would have to be.
It would have to.
It would have to be human size. I mean,
Fit my butt in it.
like what
And
kind
I
of?
mean, it's not like I kind of like slick otter into it.
It's like hot dog down a hallway.
I've got plenty of room. Yeah. Like I could do like a couple somersaults into it.
Okay.
If I had to.
All
I'm
right.
sure
Yeah.
Justin dreams of his wife
Pretty
every
awesome.
night.
Yes.
It's the
Yep.
biggest cooter
It's
I've
the
ever
biggest
seen.
cooter I've ever seen.
Biggest cooter I've ever seen. I dig it. That's my dream.
All right.
Cool.
Roger,
Solid.
Roger, follow that one. What's your
Oh
dream?
man, I don't have a recent dream, but this is a great dream. I thought I died in my dream,
Oh, nice.
and when I did, there was nothing but bright, clear light, something like that. Just very crisp, clean.
Not blinding.
Yeah, and this is really heavy. All the sadness, all the happiness, everything just went away, and I died in my dream.
Oh, it sounds great.
Oh, it was wild. I was like, well, what am I supposed to do now? That's it. That's my dream.
Maybe you're really dying every night. And
I
you're
don't know.
coming
Yeah, do you have
back.
sleep
this is-
apnea?
Yeah, good question, Brad.
I just remember.
I'll ask the questions.
I just
Brad wants to know,
remember
do you have sleep apnea?
that being it's one of the dreams I remember. From years
Wow.
ago. Yeah.
Far out. Does
Yeah.
it recur?
No.
No,
No.
just
You
that
just
one.
died
Yeah.
once in your
Yeah.
dream.
Yeah.
Wow, man.
But everything went away, so nothing mattered. It was crazy.
It was
You didn't miss
antimatter?
anybody. You didn't want.
You got to
you
see
didn't want
Did you see
anybody.
any antimatter
I
ducks?
did not
Yeah.
see any antimatter ducks.
Oh, man.
That
That's a
wasn't a
good
good
one.
dream.
Not really.
Brad, what's your dream?
I didn't really think of one. I could.
I didn't really either.
I could.
just made that
I'll
up.
share a distirbing one.
You're
Since
an expert.
everyone's trying to
Yeah.
laugh. This one's kind of weird. It was like I'm on a stage and there's a sea of people just as far as you can see, right? And there's like a group of people, I guess, that are like, in my head, they're world leaders, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
And it's essentially like they were like, we can let you rule over all of these people, or you can save them
Oh.
by dying.
Wow.
And so
Oh.
I
Another
immediately,
die in your dream,
immediately grab a knife and I slit my throat.
What a guy.
Nice, dude.
Yeah,
So you're like
Good
Jesus
man.
in your dream.
Man.
yeah. There's clearly a complex there.
Sweet.
And
Not
so yeah,
only are you an
Clearly saved
expert,
him.
but
yeah.
you
So I
may in
sit there
fact be our
and I
savior.
bleed out for a while, and then I wake up and I'm like, I just feel weird about it.
Weird.
Yeah,
Dreams are so strange.
I know, right?
Kevin, what's your dream?
Yeah, I was just thinking. I have this dream. I think maybe I told you about it, but I have this dream where I'm going into surgery, but being a scrub tech, I want to set up my own room,
Yeah.
and so I go to the hospital, but it looks like like a giant industrial complex. It's like Freddy Krueger's, you know, when they hit the basement and they got all the pipes and everything. But people are everywhere, and they're going on their direction. And I was being tasked to do something before I could set up this room, and I ran into Roger, and Roger's like, dude, what are you doing? Aren't you going into surgery? And I'm like, well, yeah, but where am I supposed to go? I'm completely lost. He's like, oh, follow me. And Roger takes off, and I'm again, not able to follow him. And I think at one point I actually ran into Mike as well.
Man.
And same thing. He's like, aren't you coming in for surgery? I mean, I'm supposed to be wheeling you somewhere. And I was like, I know, but I don't know where to go. And I swear to God, I ran into Marissa. After that same freaking thing.
Kevin, you need some fucking hobbies, dude.
I need to get out.
Just working in your dreams.
Jesus.
But
Those are the
so
worst
I got
dreams.
mad and I left. And when I was trying to go around to the front of the building, it turned into like a giant YMCA with just all those windows. But it was snowing outside, so you could barely see in. And that's pretty much when I woke up.
Crazy.
Never had my surgery.
I have dreams of doing surgery as well. And normally it's like outside in the parking lot, and like we'll be doing like a total hip, and I'll have instruments for like a gallbladder surgery, and I'm like totally freaking out.
Yeah.
And then like the surgery just stops, and then the patient's there, and like we go do something else, and it's like, you know, I'm driving a car or something, and it's weird.
I get pissed off in my dreams when I work. I was like, how did we run out of this?
Yeah.
This doesn't make any sense. So I'm just like running
think
around,
that's a dream.
stomping around.
All pissed off.
Yeah. What is real? What's a
Oh,
dream?
wait, that's my life.
Ricky, what's your dream?
I've had this dream a couple times, like 3 or 4, and I'm in a canoe type boat, and I'm on this foggy lake, and I can like barely see the end of the boat. And Kim is in the boat with me. Kim that we work with, Casey.
Okay.
And we're talking, and we can't find our way out of this lake, and we're just like paddling through this thick, dense fog, and the fog's just getting closer, getting closer, getting closer. It eventually gets so close that it obscures my view of even Kim. Like I can't even see the front of the boat.
Wow.
And I'm paddling, and I notice Kim has stopped talking to me, and I'm like, Kim, where are you? Like, what's going on? So I stop paddling, and I get up, and I go to the front of the boat, and Kim's gone.
She's dead.
Whoa.
Just gone. Nothing. So now I'm like
Where does she go?
freaking out big time, and I'm like, fuck. I'm like, okay, if I can just like pick a direction and keep heading in that direction, eventually I'll hit the shore.
Mm-hmm.
So I keep paddling, I keep paddling, I keep paddling, and I'm like, man, why isn't this working? Like, and then I hear like rustling and on the front of the boat, and I'm like, Kim, if we keep going, we're gonna hit land, right? And I hear this, well, actually, and I go, fuck, and it's Mike in the front of the boat trying to tell me, boss me around again.
You're going the wrong way.
Mr. Know Everything. He's like, actually, if you paddle in concentric circles on a rotating 32-degree, and then I wake up and I'm just like mad that I had another dream about Mike.
You guys really are best
We really
buds.
are
Yeah.
best friends.
That's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Mike, what's your dream? Oh, you're dead.
Mike.
That's right.
Oh,
Dead.
He died.
He doesn't
Yeah.
dream
My dream
anymore.
is not
He's
to
not
die.
dreaming.
Where is Mike? That's the next question.
He is no
Yeah, where is Mike?
In the
Mike
afterlife.
is not dreaming anymore.
Well, I think that's gonna do it, folks. That's episode 2 in the book.
It was a quick hour.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
quick.
it went by fast. We didn't have a mic this time.
I know.
Yeah.
So,
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Fucker.
Yeah, ruining everything.
Big dog. How'd you do on your puzzle up there?
Yeah, did you put some pieces?
Any just got color
You got the
separation.
color
Sort of
separated.
colors.
You got the corners.
Yeah.
You got the sides. You may need a bigger table.
Yeah.
Well,
I like that. Like he only exists in this space.
yeah.
Yeah.
This plane.
You know,
Displaying.
Mhm.
like he just sits there and waits until
Yeah.
next
Do
week.
you have the
until we
puzzle
come
box?
back. He doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
He just shuts off.
Yeah.
Do you have the puzzle box? I want to see the picture.
Yeah,
I want to
what-
see what the
yeah,
finished
what does it
picture's
look
supposed
like?
to be. Oh, you should have got an easier
She's
puzzle.
hot.
Oh wow.
That's tough.
Wow. Glitter.
She's hot.
That's a nice big cooter.
Who picked the puzzle?
And, yeah, and she's glittered.
Cleared.
She's got glitter.
Did you pick the puzzle?
I did not. He,
Oh.
he
I
did
just
this on
did.
his own.
On his own.
I
Yeah.
picked the puzzle.
Yeah.
I did.
I told him I
Yeah.
want to see a puzzle put together by the
Nice.
end of 5 episodes.
So you picked a 1,000-piece
Yes.
puzzle and not, a 50-piecer that.
Nah.
Because you look like a 50-piece puzzle guy to me.
Oh, jeez.
I'm just trying to end the show on a high note.
Yeah,
with-
I mean, you know.
If
It'll
you
be
would like
okay.
to donate to our special needs cause,
Foundation. Text
Yeah.
Justin, special guest.
All right.
He is the
I like
special
to
guest.
actually pick the piece up and give it a
Smells
little
like
whip,
cooter.
and then I and then
no, you don't.
I lick it a little bit, and then I put it where it goes.
Okay, on that, I think we can close
Yeah,
the
I think
show.
that's it.
Yeah.
Thank you guys
Farewell,
very
Earth
much.
beings.
Thank you for our producer and crew. Appreciate it.
Thanks,
And,
guys.
all our experts and
Thanks,
Mike.
guys.
Rest in peace.
See y'all next week.
God bless.
Can't wait for next week's questions.